grew this thing for 9 months. I think I have a right to eat as much of it as I want. Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm a stay-at-home mom who's skeptical of the status quo. So if you like videos about homemaking and just getting back to the basics, this is the right channel for you. Follow along. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience eating my placenta. I know there's a lot of controversy on the subject, but I really think that diving into this and really talking about it might open people up to the idea, or maybe not. When I got pregnant for the first time, I went to see a doctor and I really didn't like the experience. I switched over to a midwife, and it was my midwife who actually brought up the whole placenta thing. I didn't really think about it. I was pretty preoccupied with the human being that I was creating and not necessarily the organ that I was creating along with. She told me there's a lot of options out there. Some people freeze it, some people eat it raw in a smoothie, some people encapsulate it, others plant it. I was a little bit overwhelmed at the time. I didn't know what I was going to do. It was the first time this was brought to my attention, so I told her I'd get back to her on that. I went home, I did some research, and I got a better understanding of the true value of a placenta. So the street value of a placenta is way up there. Why is it that if an organ is worth so much that one, the mother isn't compensated, and two, it's just taken away from her without question in the modern medical world? I decided that I at least wanted to keep it, maybe freeze it, and then I'd decide what to do with it later. After my home birth, we delayed cord clamping, and so my placenta was basically sitting in a bowl beside me while I was holding my newborn baby. My husband cut the cord when it was ready, and then of course my midwife asked me what I wanted to do with the placenta. I was very much enthralled with my newborn baby girl, so I said just take it away, freeze it. I had no instinct whatsoever to put my hands in there and devour it then, or even weeks after. I didn't even think about it. I was in baby mode, in new mother mode. Didn't even cross my mind. Fast forward 9 months later, my husband looks at me and he says, "So what are you going to do with the placenta in our freezer?" I knew at that point it was like a use it or lose it type of thing, so I pulled it out of the freezer, I let it thaw, and I decided I wanted to at least taste it. It really feels like any other type of organ meat, so. Got the umbilical cord. Okay. See, I've watched a couple videos and I see that like there's this film that if you want to cook it, you gotta remove it. So this is basically where Althea was, I guess. In this little sack. This was your home. She's just smiled. It really is quite something. It just really has a similar consistency to like a liver that we have normally. Huh. Looking at the placenta itself for the first time, I kind of got a little bit emotional, and I didn't expect that. It's kind of a weird process.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does something to me like.
I think it's
Emotionally, but
maybe because of the time to it. For those who get into it right at the beginning, it's all part of a moment, but for you, it's bringing that moment back?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so silly because I'm just like looking at this. Most people would find that kind of gross, but
Well, yeah.
it was a part of me. It was a part of us. So it was 9 months of my life creating a whole other organ inside me. What a beautiful, amazing experience for a woman to have. It has a lot of like little individual nodules and pieces. The first taste I did was just pure placenta. I think I put a little bit of salt on top, but I really cooked up a tiny, tiny morsel. Here goes nothing. It feels wrong to go with like fork and knife, but I think it's more like the idea of it that's weird than the actual taste. Because I can't get that thought out of my head of where it comes from. It's not cannibalism.
Just bordering on it.
Just, yeah. You want to taste it?
Okay. Veal like.
Veal, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was fresh, I would have maybe put it in a smoothie raw. Because it's masked with other stuff. Now, would I eat that again just like that? I really don't think so. I like flavorful, yummy food, and I'm not a big fan of organ meat. I wouldn't do that again. But I did mix it with some sausage, topped it with some fresh herbs from the garden, and that was quite palatable. Nothing too crazy. I think it's more of just a mental block that you're eating something that was once inside you. That's more the challenge in this whole thing. Also, you want to make sure that you're, I guess, cooking it properly, just like any other meat. Culinary extravaganza here with sausage, and I took some oregano from the garden, and paprika and garlic powder with the onions I fried up earlier. Here we go. The dark pieces are placenta and the rest is sausage, so I really masked it. And that's perfectly palatable. Nothing wrong with that. I feel like if you served that to anyone, they would have no idea. Not that I would do that. If placenta is indeed a great way to replenish your vitamins and minerals, and you want to eat a lot of it, well, that's the way to do it. Mix it with something that's super flavorful. Tastes like organ meat. That's the easiest way to put it. I can't really describe it any other way. Same texture, same flavor profile. So, and I'm not really the hugest fan of organ meat flavor, but I always mix it into things. Like when I cook liver, I make liver and banana pancakes. Sometimes I mix veal liver with ground beef and vegetables, and this is really the same.
You want to give me? I'll eat it.
Will you?
Yeah.
There you go.
I eat everything.
I know you eat everything. Even my husband was brave enough to try some, and he wasn't absolutely disgusted. He ate quite a large portion of the placenta sausage mix. We had that for our lunch, and we weren't sick after. Everything processed in our bodies just fine. Some women report feeling up of energy, less postpartum depression. After 9 months, I can't really say that there's any way of me knowing whether the placenta had much of an effect on me. And also, after freezing, I don't know if the nutrients and all the great things that are within the placenta kind of dissipate or lose their potency. I'm not the person to go to say, like, is a placenta gonna cure your PPD? I really don't know. I will say we did have great energy after that evening. We ended up planting the rest of the placenta that we didn't eat, because we did not eat the whole thing. That would have been like way too much in one sitting. We planted it as a family under a tree. It's a Canadian serviceberry tree, so it'll have white flowers in the spring, little red berries in the summer. We live in Canada, so during the fall it's gonna turn a nice bright red. I'm very excited to see that. And it's just gonna be a nice memory of the beautiful moment we shared together as a family at the birth of our first daughter. So that was something I would do again. Planting it under a tree was very special, and even doing it 9 months later made me kind of relive the experience in a different way. We're blessed with more children. I get to experience birth again. I don't know how I would feel about consuming my placenta. If I did, I'd probably want to consume it quite immediately after birth, consume it raw, maybe go the smoothie route. But I also doubt that I will, because if the first time I had no instinct to go for it, I don't see why I would do it the second time around. A woman's experience in birth can really vary from a child to another. I cannot predict and see that far into the future, and I also don't want to force myself. Giving birth is such a primitive experience that I would want to let that lead me, and whether that means consuming my placenta or not, I'm open to both. Regardless, I would like to keep it. I loved planting a tree with my family and my little baby girl beside me. It was such a nice moment to share. So I would 100% do that again. If my placenta stays in the freezer for another 9 months, depending on the season for planting trees, I really don't mind, as long as my husband isn't too grossed out about the placenta staying in the freezer again. Also not too keen about just letting someone take off and dispose of my placenta. Monetary value aside, I can't trace where they're taking it. If you're gonna run off with the organ I created in my body for 9 months and not tell me where it's going and what you're doing with it, I don't want any part of that. And also, you know, if it's worth as much as they say it's worth, pay up. I really just don't think the medical industry should profit off natural birth and whatever comes out of a woman afterwards. It doesn't sit well with me, it doesn't feel right. If we think about tribes and how they might treat a placenta, well, either the woman's going to consume it, it's going to be given back to nature, or maybe even the tribe will consume it together as some sort of celebration of bringing life. If there is a nutritional value to it, that's great. If it helps with postpartum depression and healing, that's wonderful too. When I was in my postpartum phase, I really enjoyed just fruits and bone broth, and that really helped nourish me. That's what I was craving. So whatever the woman is craving to replenish their nutrient stores, then I think that's what she should do. Maybe not a bag of Cheetos, but you do you. As for placenta encapsulation, I just don't think that is the natural way that our body was intended to handle a placenta, so I'm not really that interested in it. Placenta consumption is totally up to you in the end of things. If you know the true value of your placenta and you want to take it into your own hands, you are the woman who created this organ for 9 months. It belongs to you. So do with it what you will, and do your own research. Gain an understanding of what it means to you. Some people don't want to do it for religious reasons. Other people really want to do it because they think that it's just a natural animal instinct, a natural process of the human body and a way to heal postpartum. It's all about you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, follow along, and join our tribe. And of course, let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see in future videos. This is Kayla signing off. Stay empowered, stay informed, and as always, stay wild.